Guess who discovered that she has a library card? That would be me. So my August book haul is a bunch of library books, and then don't worry, I'm waving hi to my husband. There are a few books that I might have purchased and one that was sent to me. So welcome to my August book haul, and hey, thanks for watching All Things Equilateral. So yeah, I discovered, the library all over again. Now, if you're like me and you're a parent to teenagers, the story times of old when we used to take the little toddlers over to the library and listen to the wonderful children's librarians tell a story and do a craft with our little ones, those days are long gone. But I've been watching a few of the very popular booktube channels. Shout out to Heather at Bookables, and she's made a promise to herself to read more graphic novels, as have I. And there have been a couple that she hauled from the library, and I'm like, graphic novels are so expensive. So I thought, why not? Why not see if my library has these books? And sure enough, they did. They're by Lucy, I think it's pronounced Neasley, and the first one is called Relish, My Life in the Kitchen. And this is, I believe, autobiographical because she grew up in a foodie family. I think her dad was a chef. I don't know. I'm going to find out though. As most of you know, if you follow me on Instagram, I am a huge foodie. I love baking. Stress baking is a real condition that happens every Christmas at my house. I produce way too many dozens of cookies. If the college kid is watching this, hey there, college kid, I am making some cookies right now in 97-degree heat to send to you as a care package, so there you go. Inside are gorgeous illustrations, including recipes, and so here's one that says Comfort and Traditions, and it's the infamous which chocolate chip cookie is better, the puffy kind, or the flat kind, or the chewy kind, or some combination of all of those. Anyway, this one, it's gonna just speak to the baker in me. Her other book is called Something New, Tales from a Makeshift Bride, and I think it's about her wedding experience and planning for her own wedding. Again, the illustrations are just beautiful. And one of the things I loved about going to the library with my kids when they were toddlers was looking at all those storybooks and their gorgeous illustrations. I missed that, and so now I'm going to have graphic novels as kind of a substitute for that, maybe. I still love a good storybook. I just realized my whole paperwork was on the spine. So the next book, I've heard nothing but good things about it. I believe there's a movie that's going to be filmed, or production maybe, called Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. This one, I first came across a review, I think on the Poptimists booktube channel, and it just sounded fascinating. A little bit of a thriller, a little bit of, I think there's time travel involved. Anyway, it's one of those science thrillers, and I can never quite get enough of them. So I'll report back. The fourth book is by an author I love. She writes children's and middle grade and definitely young adult, as well as adult romances. Shannon Hale, Squirrel Girl. Now, my youngest thinks, she's in 7th grade. She's 12. She thinks that she might be, this is way past her, but I don't know. The protagonist is a 14-year-old. She discovers she has a superpower. Shannon Hale wrote it. Look at that illustration. I'm there. This next author has written YA books, and she's written middle grade books. This is definitely more of a YA book. I think it's almost kind of sort of a new adult book, somewhere bridging between YA and new adult. Sarah Mlynowski. I see London, I see France. It's about a girl who takes a trip. I believe it's her senior summer going into college in Europe, and Publishers Weekly gave it a starred review. E. Lockhart, whom I love, said, a tour de force comic narration that will leave you gasping in awe if you ever catch your breath from laughing. I need some laughter now that school has started, and I've signed so much paperwork, gone to back to school nights. You guys know the routine. Yeah, I need a little like rom-com feel. So there's only a couple more books. These books are the ones I bought, so shield your eyes, husband of mine. Sarah Reese Brennan's In Other Lands. Isn't this a gorgeous cover? This is Sarah's take on a Borderlands story. There are elves, harpies, and best of all, as far as Elliot is concerned, mermaids. So Sarah and magical creatures. I know there's going to be heart-aching romance, and I know there'll be some really laugh out loud funny moments as well. Now this book I've seen a little bit around YouTube. I got the UK edition. Sometimes paperbacks are easier to haul around and less expensive. This is Spellbook of the Lost and Found by Maura Fowley Doyle, and it's about a girl and her best friend, and they notice that they've been losing things. So, and then shortly they meet 3 mysterious strangers. it leads them to an ancient spell book. You guys, I have loved that style of plot since I read Half Magic, one of my favorite children's books. Yeah, you know, I'm gonna read the heck out of this. Plus, I mean, look at how pretty the cover is. Along those lines, you know me and fairy tales, magic, Wicked Like Wildfire by Lana Popovich. Roshana Chomsky, the author of The Star-Touched Queen, and you guys know I loved that story, says, Wicked Like a Wildfire was like devouring a succulent fairy fruit. It will rob your time, settle into your dreams, and leave you starving for more. So, I mean, they're about two magical sisters and a town in Montenegro. I've mentioned that I'm from around that area. I'm from Serbia. I'm hoping there's some Slavic mythology that's kind of pulled into, at least nomenclature that I can wrap my Slavic tongue around. It'll be fun for me to just read this and escape. Now, shout out to an absolutely sweet friend of mine who I've known him since high school. Matt Dickerson writes these wonderful books about both Tolkien and C.S. Lewis and about their writings on, in particular, nature. He wrote A Hobbit's Journey, and he was so kind to make this out to my girls to sign it for Belle and Cat Bookworms 1 and 2. I may not know you half as well as I should like, but I hope you like this read at least half as much as it deserves. Keep looking past the trees for a glimpse of Nichols Mountain. It's really wonderful when really old friends, Matt, don't betray our age, write beautiful, beautiful essays on Tolkien's Middle Earth. I was just really tickled to get this. So, and Matt has a book out because everything is color coded up here. I can't remember. The cover is blue and I just can't find it right now. So I'll put up a picture of all three of his books. The first book is called The Betrayed. If you guys like Tolkien, if you love C.S. Lewis, that kind of high fantasy setting and that kind of hero's journey plot, you're gonna love his book, The Betrayed. There are 3 books in this series, so please pick them up. And Matt, thank you so much. So I'm a huge fan of First Second books. Their graphic novels have just blown me out of the water. And when they asked if I would be interested in reading this book, I said, of course, please, yes, sign me up. It's The Hunting Accident, a true story of crime and poetry by David L. Carlson and Landis Blair. Let me just read the back. It was a hunting accident, that much Charlie is sure of. That's how his father, Matt Rizzo, a gentle intellectual who writes epic poems in Braille, had lost his vision. It's not until Charlie's troubled teenage years, when he's facing time for his petty crimes, that he learns the truth. Matt Rizzo is blinded by a shotgun blast to the face, but it was while participating in an armed robbery. Newly blind and without hope, Matt began his bleak new life at Stateville Prison. In this unlikely place, Matt's life and very soul were saved by one of America's most notorious killers, Nathan Leopold Jr., of the infamous Leopold and Loeb. So, I mean, think about it, you guys. Pumpkin spice season. There's a chill in the air, though, today. It's 97 degrees here in my hometown. But yeah, mysteries. I mean, I'm there. This is, look, get to see the back. And again, it's just beautifully, look at the braille up top. It actually pops out, so it's just gorgeous. Look at the illustrations. I think they've done it again. Beautifully packaged, beautifully illustrated, and I am really looking forward to the plot. This next book, again, I love stories about space and aliens on Earth that are believable. You know, you guys, I'm a huge fan of Star Wars. I loved movies like, you know, E.T. when I was younger. And when I saw the synopsis of this story, I was like, oh, yeah, that one sounds like a book I would love. So the letter that came with it said, I'm sure you have watched E.T. at some point in your life. You know the story of the alien befriending a family, winning over the children's hearts, and finally leaving to return to his home. The movie doesn't really show us what happened to the family after he leaves. I know. But what if his leaving actually broke the children, broke them in irreparable ways? What if E.T. wasn't the kind, friendly alien everyone knows? So this is from Leah Thomas, who's a William C. Morris YA Debut Award finalist. It's about the Vasquez siblings and the aftermath of their encounter with an alien. Isn't that just sound like September? Mysteries, alien encounters, I mean, This sounds so amazing. This does not come out until February 13, 2018. I know, I can't believe we're talking about it. But to me, this is definitely the kind of book that you want to read when there's a bit of a chill in the air. So, whew, that's it for me. That's August's book haul. Not too bad, right? I mean, 11 books, but, you know, 6 of the 11 are from the library. Thank you very much. And 2 are from publishers. So I didn't do that badly at all. Hey, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, click to subscribe, and click that little bell so you know it'll notify you when I upload these things. Thank you so much. It's been a year since I started this channel because my kids are growing up and I have really no one to talk to about the kind of books that I love. So I'm so very grateful to those of you who have subscribed, who have commented, and who continue to come back. I promise in the month of September, I'm going to do some kind of anniversary giveaway and it'll be very special. So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Tell me down below about your August book hauls. Thanks. Okay.